Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot. This is your weekly reading for Virgo. Let's see what's going on with you, Virgos. What do you need to know? All right, I see some opportunity here. 3 of Cups. Friends and family, I see connecting here. I see a good time. Someone's being a little cautious here. Yeah, I do see things moving quickly and possibly someone has multiple opportunities. But here's what I feel. Someone here, this is a person who feels kind of content the way things are. Someone keeping it all in. Yeah, I do see new opportunities though. Possibly multiple. But this is someone who's kind of playing it safe or just being content the way things are. Been there, done that. Yeah. Someone keeping their feelings in. See, is a person feeling kind of content here, like, but there is opportunity, and I do see someone who has opportunities. Somebody here didn't get what they wanted because of that energy. Now we have new coming in. Somebody here has new. And the 7 of Cups is someone who sees opportunity, taking opportunities that presented. Someone didn't take an opportunity that was presented because they acted like they were just fine the way things were. Yeah, so someone who didn't tell someone exactly how they felt. Virgo. This is someone who didn't tell someone. They kept something to themselves. Yeah, it has to do with how someone was communicating that. But I do see there was a lot of curiosity. See, there's a need for clarity. Somebody here wants to clear something up. There's a need for clarity. Tell me about the 9 of Cups. Yeah, so someone feeling sad. See, they were focused on the cups that are spilt. They weren't focused on what was right in front of them. The connection. Yeah, tell me about the 3 of Cups. Yeah, we've got a King of Wands. This is someone who generally knows what they want, but this is someone being a little full of themselves here. That's what it is. I'm just content. I'm good the way things are. Now they've missed an opportunity. See, they didn't get what they wanted because that's not what they really wanted. Let's have a look at the 8 of Wands. Yeah, so you can see a situation had ended. Things didn't go quite as hoped here, I feel, because this is someone who kind of feels like there's no hope. But because of that energy, they didn't get what they wanted. So it has to do with something that needed to end. I don't know if someone was feeling overwhelmed. Often this is someone feeling kind of overwhelmed. Too much of a good thing too fast. But I do think it's somebody who was being a little full of themselves, but in ways too where they kept their feelings to themselves. I'm just content. I'm good the way things are. You betcha. That's not good because there's an ending because of it. Now we have someone here has a new beginning. Every ending leads to a new beginning. So I do see opportunities. This is someone who had an opportunity. But I do think this is someone who may have had other options, or it's the other person seeking other options because I see new. But see, this is someone who should have told someone. They should have told someone how they felt or should have told the truth. They didn't. There was curiosity, but there is a need to clear something up. Yeah. And I do see the energy, some Taurus energy. Now, this person's just their energy, I feel, but Virgo, and I do see some Scorpio energy, but I also see Taurus. But this energy is how someone was conducting themselves. This is a person who's kind of like happy on the outside, not so happy on the inside. Because it has to do with beliefs. See, this is somebody who, how they perceived something to be. But it is about faith and loyalty. This is somebody who, just kind of felt like there's no hope. So they kind of just acted like that. But it is definitely an energy of pride, but it's somebody here who Could have been a little more humble is what I feel. But yeah, a situation ended it. Yeah. See, being humbled. This is someone who's been humbled because they didn't get what they wanted. They were definitely full of feelings and emotions. See, they were feeling emotionally overwhelmed. So this is what they did. This is someone who crosses their arms like, yeah, I'm good. I'm content, right? I'm fine. I'm just fine. But they're not fine. They definitely, this is definitely an energy of someone who felt overwhelmed, and it could be because of a situation ending, but yeah. Happy on the outside, not so happy on the inside, but this is about being emotionally available. This is someone possibly keeping their options open, or I think it's an energy of pride getting in the way. Yeah, we see the Empress. This is what this person I think this is someone who was being a little full of themselves. And it is the emotions, overwhelming emotions, but it's how they behaved, the way they behaved. I think this person's probably feeling a little ashamed of themselves in some way too. But it is an energy of being humble, Could have been a little more humble. Yeah, because it is an energy of rejection. So now they feel they've missed a magical opportunity. This is someone who it is becoming aware, becoming self-aware of how they were behaving, conducting themselves. So now we have the Empress. This is a person who's open, available. Yeah. The Empress can be kind, compassionate, and often forgiving, but like I say, this is an opportunity that was met. Not the person in this situation got what they wanted. Someone who should have just told someone how they feel. They didn't tell them things, but it is about clarity. They want to clear something up. Yeah, see, there was chaos, conflict, a little bit of drama. To me, it looks like more like inner turmoil, internal, how they were feeling inside. Wasn't what they were projecting on the outside. But I do feel with the feminine, I think the feminine's very much aware. Yeah, this person wasn't, it's how they're believing something to be, but it's how they conducted themselves. Tell me about the Four of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who kept it all in. See, inner turmoil, confusion, illusion, how they perceive something to be, their perception, but how they're conducting themselves is why a situation. It's like someone this is a person who may have just ended something too. Things happening very quickly, maybe overwhelmed, because this is someone who knew what they wanted, but like I say, this is somebody eating a little humble pie, and because it is about how they behaved, becoming very much aware. I think the feminine's aware too. The Empress, I feel, is aware, sees inner turmoil. It's a little conflict, drama, but this is internal. I feel very internal. Yeah, see, now there's competition because this is someone who's open to new, because this is just something that never got off the ground. It's like they wanted to start something, but they never. It's just being, like I say, someone who should have been a little more humble. They were being a little full of themselves. So I do think this is someone likely going to be learning that. But now we have this person wanting to know what this Empress is up to, what they're doing, who they're spending time with. See, there's confusion, things they don't know. And this is someone who's had a bit of a dark cloud hanging over them too. See, it's the illusion. This person really wasn't projecting how they really felt, But it is about love. Now there's competition. Yeah, see, this is something that didn't go anywhere. And I do feel this is two people crossing paths, but I do see some of you have a choice to make. And I do think this person sees competition. They're curious. They want to know what you're up to. I don't think they know, but it has to do with a situation that didn't go anywhere because of it. But this is two people who've crossed paths. Now, I do think there is another opportunity to cross paths here. Yeah, this is someone seeing truth in this. Somebody who should have just told someone the truth. Aha. I think the feminine knows, I feel. sees that this person was going through inner turmoil. And I do see that inner conflict, you know. I mean, there could be some conflicting personalities here for some of you where someone's feeling kind of confused. But this is about victory and truth. See, this is somebody who woulda, coulda, shoulda told someone the truth. This could have been a victory. So they definitely know that now. Yeah. See, trusting their inner knowing. See, they kept everything all in. They kept it all in. I feel the feminine already knows. The Empress knows. See, this is someone open. I feel like some of you already know the answers you're seeking. Because this person, it was inner turmoil. And now there's competition. I feel that's the thing. There now may be competition. I think some of you just keeping things to yourself. I do see privacy. See, it's definitely someone's privacy, private thoughts. It's about trying to get someone alone. Yeah, because there's people around. See, this is someone doing this when there's people around. But it could be someone who's involved with too many people. I wouldn't be surprised there are too many people involved. Yeah, see, it's about not involving other people, privacy. So I do think this is someone not feeling very good about themselves here. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. Or the Five of Cups. Why is this here? Yeah, see, it wasn't fair. Basically, there's a lack of harmony. It wasn't fair. This is someone who wants to make this right. This is just somebody who didn't go about it the right way. Like, I feel they are humbled, and I do feel there was confusion, illusion. But this is someone having to face that fear that there's now competition, because I do see new. The Empress is open to new, but I don't think the Empress has gone anywhere yet. I do feel the Empress may have some choices, but they're just kind of sticking to themselves. Someone who's keeping to themselves. I do see privacy. Yeah. Yeah. Someone just grounding themselves. There you are. See, keeping your thoughts and your feelings to yourself here. It's kind of sticking to yourself. I don't think that you've gone anywhere. I do feel there could be options, but I feel it's more like what this person's thinking too. Yeah, King of Wands. It's just an energy someone comes in. They could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I see Taurus. It could be energies in their chart. I do see Aries, Leo, Sag here, but I feel it's just... I mean, there could be some conflicting personalities here, but... I really feel it's someone who missed an opportunity. See, becoming aware. Somebody here becoming more self-aware. Tell me about the King of Wands. Yeah, so someone who's trying to be patient. But this is someone giving someone that impression that they're good, right? They were interested. They were curious. Now they want to know what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised they're talking to people. Someone who's talking to people, but they want to clear this up. I can tell you, they want to clear this up. I think this is someone who had just ended something. If not, it ended before it actually went anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it's also this person being stable. Yeah, some of you do have a couple of options. I do see this person. I do feel, and I do see a Taurus energy. Now, they could be a Taurus. They could be anyone, but... I'm definitely seeing strong Scorpio, which is an energy of transformation and change. It has to do with whether somebody will ever change too, the way they behave, the way they conduct themselves. But there's definitely been a missed opportunity. See, this is someone who may have rejected someone or ignored them. I think you're very much aware of the inner turmoil here, but I do think there is competition now. That's them facing that fear. So they are looking at the situation. See, this is somebody who wasn't prepared. But like I say, they were a little full of themselves. And for those of you who have two, it's about someone who comes in right. See, it's about coming down to earth. And I do see that, pride and ego kind of energy underneath there, but it is about planning and preparing. Yeah, it has to do with stability. See, this is somebody here. It has to do with long-term stability. Some of you do have choices here. I do feel like you've got someone new. I still feel it hasn't gone anywhere. I do think you're still thinking about this other situation. There's something about that person. You can't quite put your finger on it. Because there's just something about them. Sometimes when you get rejected or ignored, you know, it takes a little time to kind of process. But I do feel you're looking at the bigger picture. I do feel like you're just kind of enjoying yourself, doing your own thing. Yeah, you're still single. You're still single. There is another person here, though, and I do think they're stable. Somebody who has that provider energy, but it's somebody looking at what the other person can provide. So I don't know if this is someone who... No, it's like I can see interest, see investing, but this is someone who kind of maybe wasn't putting all their eggs in one basket at that point too. Like, I'm content, I'm good the way they are, but it's still, I can still see this person, a little death of the ego, you know, I kind of see that being humble. They should have been more humble, but they are definitely all in their fields. And that's why I feel someone who's happy on the outside, not so happy internally. Yeah, it is about coming in, and I do think some of you do have another person, though. I don't know if you see a future with either one of these people, because you are looking out for yourself. I still feel like you're single. You're just feeling pretty good, you know. Yeah, I do think you're feeling happy, but I do think you see the bigger picture to do with this situation. Yeah, it has to do with someone who comes in. See, it's about compatibility. Maybe there was conflicting personalities too. But it has to do with, I feel, communication. The way someone communicates, or it's like, to me it's like body language, how somebody's, you know, behaving. But this is the energy of the Knight of Cups. Now this Knight of Cups is somebody coming in, asking someone out. See, there's a need to cooperate, compromise, compatibility. There's definitely an energy of 3. Yeah, it's all about going down this path. Yeah, and you can see a painful period in your life is over, but I still feel this person. I still feel like you can't quite put your finger on it. If it's still bothering you, you're holding on to it. And it could be, too, where you acted like you weren't interested. It could be about becoming aware of what, you know, the way you were. Because there is all that self-awareness. It's an energy of being ready, too. I can see it. But, you know, this is where someone's going to rise like the phoenix from the ashes. And that's generally somebody with the King of Wands. But this is, I do see some of you, there is an energy of some kind of relief. So it could be someone finding out you're still single and they're relieved. But it's also a lot to do with this Queen of Pentacles. See, you're single. You're just looking out for yourself here. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you may be comparing one to the other, weighing the pros and the cons, the good outweighing the bad, a little procrastination. And it could be this person too. But like I say, this is somebody being humbled. And it's about being aware of what they were projecting. And that's also about self-aware of how someone was feeling. But I definitely feel some of you got new, but it hasn't gone anywhere. It's somebody here just kind of waiting here. Kind of just keeping to yourself here. This is someone who still hasn't followed through. Yeah, I see a little bit of temperance, taking a step back, feeling differently. See, one of these people probably just isn't right for you anyway. And I do see that energy of maybe conflicting personalities is possibly, you know, what's going on. But I do feel it was, most of this is internal, not so much external. Yeah, because temperance is a lot to do with that too. It's whether someone's your type or not, whether you're compatible. See, trying something different, doing things differently. Yeah. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Yeah, you got an Emperor coming in. This is someone leveling up to Emperor. See, it's a person focusing on their money. That's why I feel pride got in the way. I mean, the King of Wands is just sometimes loud and proud, somebody with a lot of pride. But like I say, they were being a little full of themselves or acting content. They're happy the way things were, but they really weren't. But they have leveled up to Emperor energy. But if you are comparing one to the other, nothing really compares to an Emperor. So, and I do feel that Emperor connects to that King of Wands. See, they could be a Taurus or they could have heavy Taurus in their chart. So, but it is temper, right? Or temperament. Yeah. See, that's what I feel. It's about avoiding. See, I feel like you're trying to avoid any drama or conflict, because there is something being learned here about avoiding this, because there's people around. We know you don't like public displays of confront, all this public displays of things, it's just, it doesn't feel comfortable. Yeah, this person here definitely trying something different. This person, I do think someone feeling like a fool, because I do see reflecting on the past, leaving it behind. See, taking a leap of faith and taking a risk. They're weighing the pros and the cons. I feel like you are too, like comparing one to the other. This one person definitely, they find you so attractive. I don't know if you're aware of how attractive this person finds you. And that's part of that conflict, the inner conflict. So I don't think you're aware of how attractive this person is. And it is an energy of coming in very quickly. This person's going to go for it. I do think they're rising like the phoenix from the ashes. I do. Yeah, this is someone finds someone very desirable, very attractive. And I think you're attracted to this person too. Because I feel like you can't quite put your finger on it, why you're still kind of thinking about this person. I don't think they're so much different than you. And I do feel like they probably have Earth in their chart. But I also do feel like some of you have other opportunities. But I definitely feel like you're still single. Something hasn't gone anywhere. See, it's not going anywhere. Yeah. Let's have another look at the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so someone's slowing down a little bit. See, it's a person who's restless and reckless. This has to do with someone slowing down. The path that this person was on, slowing down and assessing the situation. And that part, I feel, is a lot about yourself. You're assessing it. Yeah, and I do see this person too. So this is interesting. But it has to do with this person. You feel they're not your type, like conflicting personalities. But I do think that and you may be looking at in that energy. I don't know. It all depends on energies in your chart. You would be surprised. I do see some Pisces energy. A little Gemini. See elements you may have in your chart. Tell me about this other person. So Aries, Leo, Sag, Scorpio. I'm seeing strong Scorpio. And I also see Libra. See, some of you may have some Gemini, some Libra energy. See, there is this where you can't put your finger on it, why you're so attracted to this person. But here's another thing. I don't know if this person, I don't think you realize how attracted they are to you. Because I do feel like, you're definitely open to something new. And I do see this energy of this person also, not only yourself, seeing the bigger picture. That's why this is someone who feels a bit like a fool. Made a fool out of themselves. There's people watching. And this is, I do think, becoming aware they made you very uncomfortable. That's why I feel they want to clear this up. But yeah, I mean, it just, should I or shouldn't I? Yeah, see, putting the shoe on the other foot, back and forth, feeling one way 1 minute, feeling another way the next. But it's all about putting the shoe on the other foot. See, they're coming in humble. They're putting the shoe on the other foot, how they may have made you feel. I do think you've got someone curious, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're online, dating, social media, they're actually checking you out to see what you're up to, who you're spending time with. I feel like you're alone. That's why I kind of feel rising like the phoenix, because it's somebody becoming aware that you're still single. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, you're definitely in the energy of being emotionally available. You're open to receive, and I think you're just going to be still and kind of let this be and let this person decide and just see who comes in, how they come in, because it's about coming in right. And that's what it's saying. Be aware of how the person comes in. Can they put the shoe on the other foot? Because anyone who can't put the shoe on the other foot, how the other person feels, often isn't emotionally ready or mature. But there's definitely a lot of desire and a lot of attraction. So somebody here was definitely, the path they were on, they were being reckless, restless. Now there's this slowing down a little bit and being more sensible. One more on the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so there is some sort of decision. Feel like you're indecisive. I don't think you're going to do much, unable to move forward or make a decision, because I do feel like there's something here where you just can't. Why you're so attracted. I mean, maybe it's them, like why you're attracted to them, but I feel like you don't realize how attractive they are. That's what or how attracted they are to you. And it is about love and a bond and a connection. See, two people coming together. There's something about you too. Yep, someone who maybe even has loved somebody for some time. And it could be yourself holding a little torch for this person. Often when people get rejected or ignored and these kind of situations happen, you kind of hold a little torch. But, I mean, maybe you've loved this person for a long time. And it could be the other way around. In fact, interesting. But it's about unable to make a decision and move forward, because that's where I feel like you're at, because there's something about this person. And this person kind of feels the same. But I definitely see the path they were on. Somebody who, rushing in and out, reckless, restless. See, this is somebody who wasn't seeing what they were projecting or how they're behaving. So this is all about self-awareness. Yeah, this has to do with a person speaking truth, making a decision. So I don't know if this is someone who wanted to come in and they had just ended something. See, or needed to end something before they started something new. It's either or, but I feel it's something that just didn't get off the ground. It didn't go anywhere. But it is about truth, integrity, some kind of confession. See, you're one of those people who's going to get a confession. Someone confessing that they've been holding a torch. It's coming. And that's why I feel this indecision. And it could be this person was unable to move forward. But it's funny because I feel like you're open to this. There's definitely unfinished business here. There's a need for something to be cleared up. It's hard to say where it'll go, but I feel like you're just, you're open to whatever comes your way. But like I say, I think you're still kind of looking at this person. If you have another person, see, nobody compares. See, there's change coming, and it has to do with communication. There's a communication that come in and change everything. But this is somebody who was probably a little skeptical at some point. But it is about speaking truth. Either it's all about learning something. Yeah, this person could come back around, but it has this energy of by then you're going to move on. I don't think you're going anywhere just yet, but don't wait too long. Don't wait too terribly long. And I do see holding a torch, somebody who's loved someone for a long time. See, and it's like you've crossed paths, but it didn't go anywhere, nothing happened. And if you do have a new person, I feel like you already know the answers. That's not going to go anywhere. But this other energy, this person, I don't know. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, they want to reach out, a little test to see if you're interested. And I do feel like you're maybe even tempted yourself to reach out. But here's what I feel. Don't put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of. Okay? Because I do think somebody here has learned a lot of lessons. They have experience, or maybe they've been taken advantage of. And this could be why all this happened. Because they were being kind of full of themselves. And I do think they've been humbled here. They're coming in humble. Yeah. So someone who likely show you they like you, maybe give you a little gift or do something nice. And I wouldn't be surprised some of you did that. Pretty interesting. This would be masculine Virgo, feminine Virgo. I do see Taurus. I mean, there's a lot of energies, a lot of Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. See, I feel like you have elements in your chart that somehow bring you into alignment. That's what it's telling me here. But I feel for now you're just kind of open and just kind of going to go with the flow and see what happens. Take care. Bye for now.